welcome to Shine On, Sister, where you learn to shine your light in life, business, and beyond. And today we're talking all about how to create a decade that you desire. So I'm sure you've done all of the year-end reviews, decade in review. You've done what didn't work, what did work, what you're going to keep into the new year, what cannot come into 2020, everything you're leaving behind, right? You've done all the work, and congratulations, by the way, because not everyone's willing to dig deep, do a review, but you really want to go into this year and even the next 10 years really intentionally and mindfully. So now it's really time to dig deep into what you're really feeling into to the next year, the next 5 years, and even the next 10 years. There's a famous quote that says that we tend to overestimate what we can do in a year, but we tend to underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So it's really important for us right now. This is the perfect time to open the year now to really consider the decade that you truly desire to have unfold in your life. This is super important if you're listening to this or you're watching this because you're probably a big heart-centered entrepreneur. You care about change in the world. And so I'm interested in you really getting clear on what do you really want to see for yourself and in your life and in your business and in the world over the next 10 years. Because without considering this, you're just kind of going day by day, not really working towards a vision. So that's what we're going to get really clear on today. Now, while it sounds fun and dreamy, I know that this can be actually quite challenging because dreaming the next big dream, especially when you're thinking 10 years out, there feels like there is so much potential there. And what I see when I teach my workshops or even have my private clients, that when you're heart-centered and you're really concerned with the world and you want to create positive change in the world, to really dream the big dream feels intimidating. You almost might feel like if I really say what I want to create in the world, it just feels too big and I'd rather not even go there in my head and heart, right? I also see people waiting on the green light. You know, they're kind of waiting to be chosen. They're even waiting on permission to dream, which of course this is your permission to dream. I'm giving it to you right now. But if in the past you haven't really thought about this or haven't really gone there in your desires, I'm giving you the green light. I'm giving you permission to dream because again, it's really important to know what's the lighthouse, what's the North Star, what are you working towards so that you can take intentional steps to get you there. The last place I see people get this really confused or mess it up is, and this is me, this is what I did in the past, is being really super clear on what you don't want. So what does that look like? Complaining, commiserating, just talking so much and giving so much energy and attention to what you don't like. It could be what you don't like what's happening currently in your life or what you know you don't want to happen in the future. But let me tell you from experience, that doesn't get you anywhere and it just has you cycle in the same pain point. So a little bit of background on me. My history is that I went from job to job, year after year, looking for my passion, trying to find something that I enjoyed that really married my head and my heart. I have a background in sales and marketing, and I just wanted to use those skills for good. And it really wasn't until I got clear on what I really did want versus going to lunch with my friend and talking about how I felt like a cog in a machine in the corporate, conglomerates and all that kind of stuff. When I really was like, I want to use my head. I have a lot of training at this point. I want to use my heart. I love volunteering. I love teaching. I love giving. I want to travel. I want to impact lives, particularly the lives of women and children. And that is how I ended up going to Ecuador for 3 years and teaching business development for single mothers who were entrepreneurs in their own right and teaching them bookkeeping and other business development skills and developing small businesses around their neighborhood, and also with orphan youth who didn't have another option other than to go into the entrepreneurial space to create a means of livelihood for themselves. So I wouldn't have had that amazing opportunity, and even today working with women entrepreneurs who are taking their dreams out of their heads and hearts and into the world. So I really encourage you to get off of thinking about what you don't want and get really clear on what you do want. But I'm not going to leave you hanging. I have some prompts for you that will really help you get there. Okay, so this is what you want to do instead. This is what I teach in my workshops and with my private clients. I go through a whole process, but for the sake of brevity for today, I'm just going to bring you to one of the most important points, and this is what I want you to get clear on today. So as you go even throughout this year, you're already going to have set your intention and your goal and your vision that's going to help propel you forward. So again, if you're watching this or listening to this, you're likely an entrepreneur yourself, or you have a dream, you have a mission, you have a purpose, or a soul-centered business you want to launch, or you're already launched in your business. Most of my clients and audience are women, so I will be speaking to you from that place. I find that the women of the world tend to be the community leaders, the nurturers, the people who carry so much. You know, you're the mama bear in all the ways, whether it's to your fur babies, your friends, your community, your actual nuclear family. So again, when you think about what you desire, which sometimes you've been taught not to consider that at all, it's really important so that that gets put on the docket along with all the other things that you're holding. So when it comes to your life and business, why does it have to be full, and why does it have to be successful? What's the why behind why you want to create something amazing in the world to begin with? So Simon Sinek has a TED Talk, and so you can Google him, or I can link it somewhere, where he even mentions that it's all about getting to the why behind your business in this case, right? Why does it need to be successful? So that might look like you want to make enough money and have enough time freedom to spend time with your family. A lot of my clients want to spend time with their partners and with their children. Or maybe you want to just have enough time and money to really invest in your self-care. Maybe it's you were like me and you want to travel the world and have a global impact. There's no wrong answers here, but what's important is getting clear on what the heck is it? Because if you don't land on it, again, you'll be swept up in the day-to-day. There's so much to do. And if you don't consider what you desire, then the world will just flood all of their needs on you. Not to mention, people will constantly be making requests of you. Am I right? I know I'm right. So if you don't even know what you desire first, then again, you'll be inundated fulfilling other people's requests and never having any of your own. So your why might look really personal, again, where it's you want to spend time with your family, you want to spend time with you. It might be very you-centric, which is totally okay. We want nourished women walking around the earth, do we not? Or it might be more global and feel like I mentioned before, where you want to do different projects outside of the country. You want to be able to be creating policies. You want to be able to be creating foundations. Whatever it is, go ahead and dare to dream so that you can create the decade that you desire. Now, one of my superpowers is being a visionary and then also very grounded. I'm into vision boards and spreadsheets all at the same time. And that's something that I bring to the table when I work with my clients as well. So now that we've done the big vision part, it's time to anchor it into something real. And so what touches every part of our lives? Well, that is money and finances. So when you think about what was the why behind why you want your business to be successful and why you want your life to be full and rich and what you want it to look like, there is a financial component to that you may or may not have considered. So you can really anchor it into reality when you think about, and we'll do a ballpark as you're listening to this video, but I do encourage you to really get granular and think about what would it cost to fund whatever the dream is. So if you want to be able to travel, do a girls trip every quarter, say that's part of your why, you want to really enrich in your women's circles, then what would that cost? What does that look like? What do the plane tickets look like? What would the hotel look like? Where would you want to go? Get really specific. A lot of times what my clients find when they do this exercise is that it's very doable and it's so within reach. But even if it's huge, out of this world, amazing, big, now you know, and now you know what you're working towards. So that really helps anchor it into reality. So go ahead and write down what is the financial reality behind what would you need to earn, what would your business need to be generating so that you can live into that next reality. It just dawned on me that I'm here in my office space that I was not in a year ago. And one of the things that I wanted was a space to be able to film. I have a home office, and my husband even started working from home as well, which can be great sometimes, but I also do, coaching calls and, different filming, different things that require me to be able to have space, to be able to be by myself, to be able to hold intention. But what does that even look like? But once I set that intention, I found this wonderful space that I've been able to host workshops in. I have, my own office space, and I'm able to come and essentially have a studio with a cool living wall and all kinds of things, because I was able to first identify what would be great. Why do I need this? What does that help me do? And then what would be the financial reality of that? And then I'm able to live into it. So please know that by getting clear on all these things, you'll just start seeing the things come into your world, and then also you're able to make a really intentional plan of what you are sowing your time, money, and energy into once you create that decade that you desire. And then of course you just work backwards, so that then you're looking at what does that mean for each year of that 10-year period. Now, of course, if you'd like more support, you can go to jennifercovington.com and see all the different ways that I can help you with this. This is my zone of genius. But even you just sitting here with me, listening and working alongside, doing the work, you're well on your way to creating the decade that you desire. So there you have it, and there you are. You're on the way to creating the decade that you desire. Now, get clear on your why, figure out that dollar amount, and shine on, sister.